Yo, 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 what is going on, guys? It is your boy Optic Scumpy here today bringing you a video log from my floor. It's the best lighting I can get. Today we are going to be talking about the Black Ops 3 competitive live stream that took place about 2 hours ago. It was a show match between 4 North American teams and 4 European teams, and let me tell you guys something, it got me hyped. If you didn't watch the live stream, do not worry. I picked out some of the key points and I'm going to highlight them in here in today's video. And it's going to be a great time. Everyone's going to be very excited about this next year because it's going to be awesome. I got to say something though first. I'm a little disappointed in my man Crim6. They did lose 3-2 to the European All-Star team, as they called them. Crim6 was playing pretty good though. He's got to pat himself on the back. Crim, you played well, man. I'm proud of you. I'm happy that you're on my team because I'd hate to play against you. Psych, I'd whip that ass. Okay, but enough of me blabbering, and I will go on forever if I'm not stopped. So I'm going to stop myself. We're going to start talking about some constructive things. Let's get into it. First things first, we're going to start with the stages, as they called them. The stages are going to be very important throughout the year. So you guys know MLG New Orleans, the grand finals of MLG. It was $250,000 for first place total. The stages are going to match that. I'm going to show you guys a graphic here. I took a couple pictures throughout the whole live stream, so I'm going to show you a graphic right now so you guys can sort of, follow along with what I'm saying, so you guys have a visual representation of what I'm actually saying, so it's not just words and you guys don't get lost. Here it is. Take a look at this. I'll give you like 5-10 seconds to look at it. Take it all in. There's not that much information to take in. I'm just going to try to sum it up, in my opinion, the best way possible. Okay, so you guys saw the 3 stages. There's going to be a North American stage, Australian stage, and last but not least, a European stage. We're going to start from the lowest prize pool to the highest prize pool. So let's start with the Australian stage. Now, we don't know for sure how the qualifications are going to be. It says that there are 8 teams involved, but there will only be 4 finalist teams. So what I took from this was that there's going to be 4 teams flown out, or actually 8 teams flown out to a LAN. They're going to compete in a qualifier, and then there's only going to be 4 teams that are actually competing for the $150,000 prize pool. Before we go any further, there are going to be 2 stages throughout the year. That's what they showed in the diagram for the scheduling, which we'll get into after I explain the stages a little bit. But let's move into the European stage. So the European stage, it says that there are going to be 10 teams with 6 finalists. So you could sort of take from the other Australian stage, 10 teams will be flown out for a qualifier, only 6 teams will qualify, and then they'll battle it out for a $200,000 prize pool. Last but not least, let's move into North America. It says there are going to be 12 teams flown out for a qualifier, with 8 teams going to the finals for $250,000 total, much like New Orleans. So if you think about that, that's a lot of dough going out globally for Call of Duty. That's a lot of money going to a lot of different places that didn't have the biggest scenes. Australia, Europe, I mean, they have scenes, they have tournaments and stuff. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to insult or anything, but they don't have tournaments that are worth $150,000. It's just not, that doesn't happen. This is going to be great for all of Call of Duty. It's going to make the game much more, it's going to make the game better on a global standpoint. It's going to make a lot more people involved, a lot more people interested, and it's going to be great for the community as a whole. Now that the stages have been talked about a little bit, I'm also going to give you guys another picture of the scheduling, and then we're going to talk about that. So take a second, look at it, try to absorb as much information as you can from this picture. So one of the key things that I want to point out from the live stream was that Stage 1 qualifiers are going to start in the first week of December. That is what was said by one of the designers of the devs from Treyarch. So he said that Stage 1 qualifiers are going to start first week in December. So if you saw the scheduling, you'll see that Stage 1 qualifiers are followed by Stage 1 and then Stage 1 finals. So Stage 1 qualifiers, again, touching back on the last point, I have a feeling that there's going to be a LAN for a qualifier, and then the finals will be obviously another LAN for the actual money prize pool. Under the Stage 1 stuff, though, I want to point out, it says ongoing tournament and events part of the global point system. So that means that pro points are pretty much going to be obsolete this year. They're not going to be obsolete completely, but these global points will probably be like the pro point standings, and they'll probably mean a lot more than the pro points will, because pro points might seed like UMGs, MLGs, Gfinities, ESWCs, events like that. That's probably what pro points are going to seed. And then these global points are going to seed the the stages, the stages, and then the COD champs, and then all of that stuff. So after the season 1 or stage 1, you see there's a mid-season break, and then moving on, you have the stage number 2 and stage number 2 finals. Now, this is something I want to point out. Under that, it says 10 teams qualify worldwide for COD champs. So 10 teams out of those stages are going to qualify worldwide. So all the stages are going to be pulled from, but only 10 teams will qualify through stage number 2. And then obviously moving on into COD Champs, what everybody wants to see, Call of Duty Championships is said to be like sometime in summer to late or early fall. I don't know if they released the date yet, but I'm pretty sure looking at the schedule, that's what it looks like. It looks like midsummer, early fall, like July through September, somewhere within that time range will be Call of Duty Champs. And then again, those points that you add up throughout the year are going to be very crucial. I bet that's how they pull those 10 teams for Call of Duty Championships. So now that we're done with the two meaty things that I wanted to talk about, we're going to talk about the third, and that's ESL joining the scene. That is huge. A lot of people might underestimate that, but ESL has a very, very large following globally. They have Counter-Strike, League of Legends, Dota. Every single game on the PC, ESL runs it, and they run it very, very well and very professionally. So with them joining the scene, it's going to be huge for Call of Duty, and I mean it's going to be big. I'm very excited for this next year. ESL, it's just another tournament sponsor or holder, tournament, designer or producer, whatever you want to call it. Another tournament designer coming into the scene, going to be throwing tournaments for Call of Duty, and they're going to be big tournaments, which is going to be fantastic for everybody once again. So this next year is really, really looking up for us. I mean, we've deserved it, man. We've had so many bad years, and now we're finally getting some backing, getting some support, and it's going to be fantastic for everybody. So I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. If you did, make sure you drop a like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. It'll be down in the description below. And as always, this was your boy, Scump. Fight.